Hello viewers, Passion9 here, and I just watched the pilot episode of ZombieLand Saga Revenge. And here's the thing, whenever an anime has a second season, the first thing I'm going to be thinking is, do we need more? Is this second season going to do anything, have a hook of some kind that's going to validate doing more of it? Because obviously the worst kinds of sequels are when you just get more of the same. It's just more of the same, and there's nothing really unique or interesting to keep it going. And I really liked the first ZombieLand Saga. I thought it was fun, I thought it was hilarious, I thought it was a nice twist on the idol genre, and it was a good time by Mappa. But I also didn't expect a second season, and it's one of those cases where watching this pilot, I'm not so sure that I'm on board with this second season either. Because all the characters in the first season were fully fleshed out. They had their backstories, they had their struggles that they overcame and became famous and became this popular idol group, despite being these undead zombie girls. So that was a great little story. Now for this pilot for the second season, we've got their coach, their instructor, has fallen into a drunken stupor, depressed spiral, which I can really relate to these days because that's me. But he is morbidly depressed because they lost their fame. The idol group lost their fame. They hit a snag and bombed out bad at a big concert. So now at the beginning of this season, they are desperately working to pay off debts because they've lost their fame. And their boss, their instructor, is just given up entirely. He's just a drunken deadbeat now, and he's just like given up on the whole thing. And that's pretty funny considering how charismatic and like strong-headed and determined this guy was in the first season. And I thought to myself, ooh, is this going to be the hook for the whole season? Are they going to have to not only prove to themselves that they can still be famous and get their fame back, but also convince their coach, their instructors? Is it going to be all about pulling him back from the brink? And no, that's all resolved at the end of this episode. This very first episode, that's all resolved. They don't get their fame back right away by any means. That's obviously going to be the main hook. They just have to work back up the ladder again. But their coach snaps out of it, comes back around at the end of the episode, and it's funny, it's hilarious. It's funny how like messed up he is in that state, and just to see this character in such a different attitude than what we normally see him. And that's great. And I guess keeping him out of the picture in that way would have been hard, given how integral he is to the comedy back in that first season. But I feel like it could have been bolder. It could have been a little more daring, and we could have just had this guy sidelined for the whole second season, just acting like this sad, depressed drunk who still has no faith in them climbing back up, or something like that. But instead, there is no real hook or anything established in this first episode that had me convinced we need more ZombieLand Saga. It just feels like, well, they were on top, now they're back to the bottom again. They have to work their way back up. That's the hook of this second season. And I just don't see where that's going to go. It's just not that compelling to me. So I'm kind of leaning more towards no, we don't need more ZombieLand Saga. Did I have fun with this episode? Sure. It's about as fun as the first season was so far, but I just don't think it's going to be as novel. You know, the whole novelty of them being these undead idols just feels like, how much can we stretch that? How much is that going to stay funny and amusing and charming? I don't know. It might just like lose its appeal for me at this point with the second season, but who knows? I'm not like hating it. It's perfectly fine pilot. I just expected more of a hook to it. So yeah, that's ZombieLand Saga Revenge, and catch you all next time.